I accepted a 10-day challenge to make 10 videos at 8 minutes long. This is my second attempt. The first one was 6.5. I thought it was 8, but I didn't have my glasses on. And the challenge is to, I believe, express ourselves in a way that our story can inspire others. And after a certain age, that maybe more of us should be speaking about our experiences and what we can bring to the world today. And the world is definitely a different place now than it has ever been. And I really feel that this has been a call for me, the next level, because I've had people tell me for years, I should speak, or, I've done different things, radio co-hosts, I've led retreats, I've done lots of different work. I've worked as an alcohol and rehab recovery facilitator, and each one of those things I've had to accomplish some type of personal growth in order to overcome my fears and my self-doubt. And even right now doing this video, I basically got out of bed like this today. I'm intentionally doing it imperfectly perfect, if that makes sense, because I really, part of who I am is to be self-expressed and to be really, in a way, be able to sit with yourself. This is kind of my coming out, if you will. I have been isolated for about 3.5 years. 99% of that time I've been alone in silence, and it's time for me to figure out a way to get off this mountain, or at least invite people. And I have created a beautiful garden sanctuary that has literally saved my soul. Having my hands in the earth, having a project, making my life my living art. And that's, in a way, over now that I have many decades to look back on, and my life has always been my work. It's all of our work. And that's the hardest thing I think that any of us will ever have to do, is our work. And the word work is really not maybe the right word, but self-exploration, courage. It takes a lot of courage to really take self-responsibility. And getting back to the story of why this video is going, I have so many things that it's been really hard to try to figure out one thing to speak about. So I thought that one of the things that I have learned the most about people is that we meet them where they're at, not where we think they should be or where we are, but where they really are. And sometimes we don't even know where we really are, because to be able to accept sometimes the current circumstances or our life's choices or the things that have made us have to develop more courage to take the next step and to level up again and again and again. And I'd like to say it gets easier, but it doesn't. So it depends on your perspective. It's not that it's easy or hard, it's necessary. And if we can't be malleable and find the flow that feels good for us, even in the hardest of times. Because that's one of the things that I was going to share, is like, it's not that I regret where I am today, but it has been a journey, and I'd like to take you on that journey with me, and then maybe the next 10 videos, if I can do this, and share some things that God has channeled from me in my moments of really tough times. And in July of this year was really a bottom for me, and that says a lot if you knew my history. And I was sitting here and I thought, maybe I'll share what I was writing at 4:30 in the morning on the day that I thought might be my last day. I didn't have a phone, I had nobody around, and I hadn't slept, and that's how I communicate with God. And I had gotten back into this writing a few months ago, thank God, because, it witnessed to me again, because I had forgotten who I was. I've been in a situation and a relationship and some life changes that really shook me to the core of, literally, I had forgotten who I was, because, there's a lot more to the backstory of this. But so I wanted to share one of the things that I wrote, or what I wrote, I should say, in that moment of my despair. Because I thought if I started from my darkest moment in the most recent past, And to know that I'm here today, to be able to know that I possibly have a purpose through my pain, and that there might be one person, it could be you, that this touches, or at least makes you feel like you're not alone. Because being isolated and alone is a whole nother dimension of alone, and I've always preferred to be by myself and quiet, but I'm ready to step forward and share the things that I have been marinating on, and all of my experiences and the things that I've helped with, people that are in the trenches. I've spent my life in the trench, didn't even know it most of the time until I got out of it, and then I go back in and help the next person come out that they don't realize. So there's freedom in our choices, even in the ones that lead us down a hard path. We still get to where we're going, and if we can do it together and learn to trust people again and use our words to edify each other, to uplift each other, to be honest, to be able to accept where you are, however messy it is, because this shit is messy and we're all in it. And it's I need to step forward, so here I am. And I'm Soul Creatrix, and I like to help people create and architect their life from within. And I always say you have to go in to get out. And now that I've been in so long, I'm ready to get out. And this is the platform, I guess, that maybe is a chance for me to share something that could be of value to you, because it is my life's work. And maybe I'm trying to decide which one to read, because now I'm kind of second guessing myself on, do I go to the last day before the day started to shift for me, or do I read something that else I wrote? But I'm going to be vulnerable. This is really hard, I won't lie. I'm like shaking inside. I really wish I could read it without my glasses, but I'm going to go ahead and be vulnerable and share this journaling from July 26th at 4:30 in the morning, because I hope if it touches somebody and today that, I'm here and we can get through the next day. And sometimes it's not a day at a time or an hour at a time. I've experienced sometimes even one breath at a time is almost too much. And we all need to be there for each other and realize that, our tears don't go unseen or unfelt. So I'm going to share this with you, and I hope it resonates with, I kind of hope it does, but I hope it does, if that makes sense. So enjoy this, and I hope you're still listening. And I might hiccup here and there with it because I'm super nervous, and this is very, very difficult for me to share my most intimate moments with God. But I know that that's why I'm here, because there's no other reason I would have experienced it unless I can share it and it will help somebody else, because then it makes me a vessel of courage. Okay? Let's see, I can show you the window outside while I read this to you. Here I am, raw, broken, empty, beyond the edges of anywhere I have been before. The pain is undescribable, the ghost of the living, relentless in their haunting. I feel as if I am in a nightmare, and I wake up only to find the dream and the nightmare are one and the same. As if they have collided and created a loop of broken hearts and empty wishes, not knowing how to think because nothing makes sense anymore. I long for a call with my sister, a giggle or a laugh, something my soul can recognize, something to anchor to a voice that mirrors my love, the glance of security, and knowing everything will be all right. But it all feels so wrong. I feel like I'm walking against a heavy, dense water flow. I can hardly make any progress. The rocks are too slippery, my footing unstable, only to find I am in the middle of a treacherous waters. No lifeline, no rope, only the debris that's getting bigger and harder to navigate. The strength has left my body. The adrenaline has ceased to be my fuel. Everything is depleted and hollow. I just stand in the water, waiting for the moment the dam breaks. Then the only thing left is to surrender to the moment, being my last. The strength needed is no longer. My heart breaks, there are so many pieces. No wonder Humpty Dumpty was my friend. My first heartache, kind of funny. Ironically, if you think about it, I had a stuffed Humpty Dumpty that was my favorite toy. It was. I was not very old, maybe 5 or 6. It disappeared, and honestly, I can still feel the devastation in my soul. I never stopped looking for it. No one ever knew what happened to it, and I was left with just a hole in my heart of wondering, and that makes sense. At 60 years next month, the separation, abandonment, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, I've come to understand today. This has been my set experience, the pattern of loving and being forced to let go. I do truly love people like it's the last time I will ever see them. That's the intensity that others don't understand about me. Truly, because I have lost so much and have had to let so much go. I've had to dig deep and fight to convince myself someday someone will stay. But until now, they always walk away, never looking back at the carnage, the broken pieces left in reflection, a mirage of the illusion that anyone was ever really there. The stage set changes. I live through the scene. Curtain closes, another bad dream. Everything is spinning in my head, searching for a glimpse of life that has no pain, finding no solace in the rain. The rain used to represent hope to me. I would say, hope smells like rain. Now, it just waters the pain. The darkness of the storm only stirs the demons within my soul. Here I sit. They have nowhere else to go. So I dance with the demons of yours and mine, desperately desiring to expose them this time. How has my life quest become a journey alone when I suppose I never really felt home? My thoughts work overtime to understand, but I can no longer trust them as they are like man. My heart is unrecognizable to me anymore. The pieces are so many, scattered on the floor. Nothing left to put them back together again. No great horseman or even good weather. Where do I go? There is nowhere this time. There is nothing left for me. I've only wanted love, companionship, and honesty. Do I fact check the lies, or have I seen and heard enough? It couldn't feel possibly any worse, this effing curse. Why can't I lie? Why the truth eludes me, and people seem to feel to lie to me instead of honesty. The mind fricks and the heart breaks over and over again. Dust myself off. Every portion of me is in a stage of despair. All of the bodies, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, I have or feel so lost. No words can describe this moment. Crying doesn't touch the pain. Taking a walk, thinking, gardening, it's untouchable, feels unmovable, unshakable. I just can't.